So, Kevin, we have a game we're going to play. This is a game of Would You Rather. So, there's no wrong answers. And if you want to elaborate on why you chose an answer, that's great. If not, we'll move right along. So, Danica, why don't you read the first one?
All right. Let's do it.
Who's written these?
We have.
Oh, good, okay.
So our first one is, would you rather be in Julie Taymor's next Shakespeare adaptation or be in a new Andrew Lloyd Webber musical?
Wow. I would like to be in a new Andrew Lloyd Webber musical because it's one of my few unfulfilled ambitions on the stage. I have been in a couple of musicals on film, but I haven't quite convinced the world yet that they're missing out not having my beautiful voice in their musicals. So I would say, Julie, please remember me for next year. But just for now, can I do the Webber musical?
Do you have a favorite musical that you would like to do?
Well, I'm too old for all of the musicals that I would like to do now. My favorite musical was really the musical I did with my last year at drama school was Guys and Dolls, and I just love that musical. I'm quite picky about musicals. I tend.
Yeah, same here.
You know, there's a lot of very in England we have Elaine Page does this thing about musicals on a Sunday on the radio. Elaine Page famously being, the first woman to sing Memory in Cats, and so much of it sounds very alike. Particularly from the 80s and 90s. I nearly did Gomez in the Addams Family in London, but eventually the musical didn't transfer to England. So that was a massive disappointment because I spent a lot of time learning the songs. I have recorded about 12 songs for a musical that I did a sort of a platform performance for an audience in January, playing an old drunken, I wonder why, an old drunken country and western singer who dies in Cornwall. And but unfortunately, COVID put pay to that. So yes, I'll go with Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Fabulous. All right, here's the next one. Would you rather be able to speak to animals or be able to speak every language?
I can do both.
Okay. Fabulous.
So that's not an achievement. No, I think we can communicate with animals quite well, I think. I don't think you would ever be able to speak every language. I think your brain would go crazy. But I've traveled the world a lot, and I have a little working knowledge of about 5 languages. And because I wasn't taught, I don't retain it. But then, within days of going back to Italy, say, I can pretty well get by.
Can you tell us what those other languages are?
American, by the way.
Yeah.
What was your question, Danica?
Can you tell us what the other languages are?
French, German, and Italian, and a little bit of Spanish. But I also have the great joy whenever I go to Russia or to East European countries with the Cyrillic alphabet. My dad was a great self-improver, and he decided when I was about 5 to order in installments an encyclopedia. And he got the first one and then couldn't afford to buy the rest. So we were the proud possessors of the Collins Encyclopedia of the letter R. So I'm a big expert on anything that begins with R. And one of them was Russian. So I learned the Cyrillic alphabet. So whenever I work in Russia, people always want to be with me because they go, where the hell are we? And I go, well, it says here that we're going to Gorky Park. Oh, it's Gorky Park. So I can't understand Russian, but I can at least read the signs. So
wow, that's impressive in itself.
Very good skill.
I love
Very
that.
good skill. All right, what's the next one?
Next one. Would you rather have to eat Marmite with every meal or have to eat black pudding with every meal?
I would be happy to eat both with every meal, but I would say on the whole, the black pudding.
I've never tried either.
I actually prefer, it's something you don't have in America, and I can't bring it over because it's officially a beef extract, so you can't take it from one country to another. It's called Bovril. and it's the same as Marmite, but it's made of beef rather than yeast.
Interesting.
If you'd have brought that up, it would have been Bovril would be the answer.
Bovril. That was option C. So
Great. I'll go with a
We'll do that
Bovril.
for next time.
It goes Bovril, black pudding, Marmite.
beautiful.
Cool.
All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather only be able to act in Tennessee Williams plays or only be able to act in George Bernard Shaw plays?
Tennessee Williams all the time. I've done a couple of George Bernard Shaw plays. I think he's a wonderful ideas man and a writer, and I am bored to death by his plays.
Okay.
I really can't stand them. I can't stand them. But as a man, he was very interesting. He was a terrible pedant. That they need cutting. They're dull, and it's why they're not really done much anymore. I don't think. St. Joan is interminable. The thing I most remember about doing St. Joan at drama school is in the trial scene, the amount of second termers who passed out as guards on the side of the stage because it was so dull and interminable.
All right.
But Tennessee Williams is a wonderful playwright, and I would choose him every day.
Fabulous. All right.
All right. Our next one is, would you rather live in a treehouse or live in a hobbit hole?
That's really tricky because I have two fears in my life. One is heights and one is being in closed spaces.
So both kind of out.
So I'd live in the tree house if it was a very small tree.
Low to the ground, like just a couple
Like a
steps.
foot
I'm
off the
not
ground.
going up to the bedroom. I'll sleep in the living room.
Fair enough. That works. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather go to a pub with Sam and Castiel or go to a pub with Dean and Crowley?
Well, I've been in pubs with all of them.
Oh, okay.
Dean and Crowley, I presume, are yes, they're both supernatural characters, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh,
All of them. Mhm.
Who would? Oh, this is tricky. This is a tricky one. I think I'd go with Dean and Crowley because they're nearer to my age,
All
and
right.
they would understand my musical references, which maybe Sam and Castiel wouldn't.
All right. Good answer.
I like it.
All right.
All right. Next one. Would you rather be the lead in a reboot of Midsummer Murders, which I love, or be the next Doctor?
Well, I'll let you into a little secret.
You are the
I
next
was in
Doctor.
Midsummer Murders twice.
I know. I love that show.
When they were recasting the leading character, I got a message from my agent saying, "Oh God, I hope I don't offend anybody who's saying this." Saying, "We're thinking of recasting the leading character, and you're on a short list of 7. We'd just like you to know you're on a short list of 7." And I said, "Would you do me a great favor and take me off that short list of 7 immediately? The idea of spending 7 months a year wandering around midsummer, asking people where we were on the night of the 5th fills me with horror. And I would really, you'd be doing me a favor. Please take me off the list." And they did. And they've got a really great guy to do it. So I'm very pleased for him. And I probably wouldn't have got it anyway. But I can't stand procedurals. I just can't stand them. Even being in them just wears me down a little bit. So I would love to be the next Doctor, but I think Peter has plugged the hole of a slightly older Doctor, and I don't think they'll be having an old white guy again. So we've had one, and that's probably enough for them now.
Fair. All right. Here is the next one. Okay, this is the last one. Would you rather always talk like a pirate or dress like a pirate?
I think dress like a pirate. Talking like a pirate is tiring. But dressing like a pirate is easy, and you never have to wash your clothes. I do have that costume
Oh, wow.
at home, and I cannot get the smell of salt out of it. I have worn it on a couple of charity gigs.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It is fun. It is fun, yeah. But no, definitely dress like a pirate. Some pirate, not me particularly, but a lot of pirates dress in a really, really cool way.
Comfortable.
I mean, look at Jack Sparrow, for heaven's sake.
Right? It's one pretty epic pirate. All right. Well,